Hello guys. So now we are live. So we are waiting just for 2 more minutes. We will start at 6:05. So just wait for 2 minutes. A very warm welcome to all of you. AdSpare welcomes all of you, to the webinar on future of AI and ML. So before starting our webinar, I would like to before starting this webinar, I would like to tell you about our community. So, a community of students where we teach different emerging new technologies for aspiring IT professionals. You can get real world knowledge of how things work in real life and new skills which help you to progress in your life. Why our community? You have seen many communities that are running, many communities you are a part of, but why we are different? So we are different because here we provide you one-to-one mentorships, one-to-one live classes, and apart from this, you will have a great exposure of teamwork, working on projects in a team, and you will get a great exposure to connect different people around the world. So moving to the webinar. In today's webinar, you are going to understand AI and ML, how AI and ML work in real world. What is the scope of AI and ML in the future engineers? And if you want to start, how you can start learning AI and ML. At the end, we have a little surprise for you that will tell you at the end of the session. So before telling me about the guest, I would like to tell you, see the chat box, you will get one Google form link. You have to fill that link, fill that form, and after filling that form, you will get certificates of this webinar through your email IDs within 2 or 3 days. So it's compulsory to fill the Google form which is in your chat box to get the certificates. Now, moving further, let me introduce our today's guest and the speaker of today's webinar, Srinath Murugan sir. Sir has completed his master in engineering in embedded system from PSD College of Technology. He worked at Mercedes-Benz as R&D and now at Qualcomm as senior software engineer. Srinath has total 7 years of experience in the tech world, and he had a great knowledge of AI and ML field. Now, I would like to welcome Sir to take this webinar ahead. So please.
Thank you, Anamika, for that. warm welcome, right? Good evening, guys. Welcome to the webinar, today's webinar,
Thank you,
right?
sir.
Welcome to today's webinar. We are going to talk about future of AI and what as engineers you are, what are the futures, career scopes, right? With that you will be having in future, right? Yeah, let's tell about what is an AI, right? See, everybody talks about AI or artificial intelligence, right? So what is it? It's an ability of a computer, right, or a software, I would say, which is capable of doing certain tasks, right, which are usually done by humans, right? But then the software will be able to mimic the human behavior, right? This is what so what we how do the software does this? Because we are indulging an artificial intelligence to the software, so that the software understands what to do and how to do, like how humans does. This is what you call as an AI. So yeah, let's I'll show you what are the types of AI. Like, say, there are certain types of AI, right? So weak AI, or we call it as a narrow AI, we call it as a general AI, and the third type is a super AI. So let me give you a quick understanding of what is a weak AI, right? Weak AI is a type of AI which is able to perform a dedicated task with intelligence, right? It's capable to do only a dedicated task with intelligence, right? The most common and currently available AI, right, is known as narrow AI in the world of artificial intelligence. That's the only AI right now which is existing. Let me give an example, right? Apple Siri or IBM's Watson supercomputer, right? These are all a good example of narrow AI, and that is what the humans have achieved today. Now you may wonder what are the other two types of AIs, right? The general AI, right? It's a type of intelligence which could perform any intellectual task with efficiency like a human, right? As equal as human, it can perform any task. Such kind of AI we call as general AI, right? The idea behind the general AI is to make such a system which could be smarter and think like a human by its own. Right? So we are not to the level of the general AI. We are still on the level of weak AI today. Now comes the question: what is a super AI? Super AI is, as you might have guessed, right? It's a level of intelligence of systems at which machines could surpass the human intelligence and can perform any task better than human with cognitive properties. Right? It's an outcome of general AI. Right, so this is we are far ahead from today, the on the general AI and super AI. But yeah, it's possible in maybe another 20-25 years, right? It's also possible. But yeah, today what we have is all the weak AI or narrow AI, and that itself a broad topic today. Okay, let me take you about the scope and future of AI, right? See, yeah, here you can see that there are various domains, right, where AI plays a role, right? From healthcare, right? Let me give you a very quick examples in each of these. Healthcare, right? See, detecting the diseases at an earlier stage, it's an application of AI, right? In autonomous vehicles, see, this is a very buzzword which we hear in the very frequently in the last few years. Autonomous vehicles. So what is that? Right? Object detection, identifying the passengers on the road, identifying the cars on the road, right? We actually driving the vehicle without the intervention of the driver. Right. So this is a great example of an AI. The next thing in the domain of security and defense, right? Target recognition and tracking, right? Defense, cyber security. So these are all like applications where AI plays a role in defense. Now let's also talk about the manufacturing, right? So there are a lot of challenges in the manufacturing domain. So improving the operational efficiency and lowering the cost, by using the ML to optimize it, right? To optimize the cost in the manufacturing domain. Education, right? Education is again how to ML plays a role in providing a personalized learning, right, to each of the learners. So that's where ML plays a role in the education domain. Now comes the next, banking, right? Banking would be banking there are a lot of applications, right? Fraud prevention, or credit card fraud detection, anti money laundering. There are a lot of applications where AI play into it. And finally, the workplace, right? What how does the AI see AI help in workplace, right? We give a personalized customer service, improving the customer loyalty and retention. So there are a lot of applications. So all these are certain. I spoke about the various future, right, of AI in all these domains. So we have a lot of career scope in all these domains. Okay, yeah. Now let's go to I'll talk about what is a machine learning, right? See, this is another word or buzzword that people would be hearing machine learning a lot. So what is a machine? It's a type of AI, or machine learning is another statistical algorithms that achieve AI. Right. So how does it work? Machine learning actually can improve improve the software experience, right, automatically through the older data or existing data or historical data, right? We have a lot of historical data. On the basis of historical data, the software learns the historical data and it can perform on the future data. So yeah, so that's where the machine learning come into play. And there are certain many most common algorithms in ML. Let me talk about that. See, before I talk about the various algorithms, right? Machine learning is of two types. What are they? One is the supervised learning. The other is the unsupervised learning. So supervised learning is a machine learning approach that defined by its use of labeled data sets. So we provide labeled data sets to this algorithm, and the algorithm learns from the labeled data sets. These data sets are designed to train or supervise these algorithms into classifying data or predicting outcomes accurately. Using labeled inputs and outputs, the model can measure its accuracy and learn over the time. That's what the supervised learning. Now there's a second type of learning which is called the unsupervised learning that uses the machine learning algorithms to analyze and cluster unlabeled data sets. These algorithms discover hidden patterns in the data without the need for human intervention. Hence, they are called as an unsupervised learning. So the algorithms, right, which you see, the names of algorithms that you see in the screen comes under these two categories, right? So regression, there are two types of, again, two problems that machine learning is trying to solve. One is the regression, the other is the classification. So what is the regression problem? It tries to predict a continuous variable or a number. And what is a classification problem? It will tries to classify a cat or dog or right, maybe a certain set of categories or classes. It will try to classify, right? Linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, SVM algorithm, naive Bayes algorithm, right? KNN algorithms, random forest. These are all comes under the supervised learning. And K means, which you see in the second last, they belong to the unsupervised learning. Basically, they'll try to find the cluster from the data set by itself. That's why they call it as an unsupervised learning. Yeah, let me talk about the use cases of ML now, right? Again, right, so these are all use cases or applications of ML, wherein the voice assistant or personalized marketing or fraud detection, self-driving cars, right, predicting behavior, healthcare, process automation. These are all the use cases which we already seen, right? Yeah. Okay. Now what I do, I'll pause here. For 5 minutes, right? I'll take any questions if from the chat. If you have any questions, please shoot it out.
Yeah, guys, if you have any doubt, any question, just write in the comment sections. So I will answer your doubts and answer every question.
Okay, I see that the question, what is the benefits of AI, right? Nandini would have asked that. See, all the applications which we just saw till now, right? They are all benefits of AI. See, those benefits are something which, as in our applications, right, where human intervention is actually not required. A software can do the applications, right, which is actually equivalent to human intelligence. what is the role of healthcare in AI? Right. So it is the other way around. What is the role of AI in healthcare? As I told you, right, in healthcare there are a lot of applications, right, detecting the diseases at an earlier stage, or if you see, if you in the last 2 years during the pandemic time, when COVID has come up a lot, right? AI played into a role or mission, right, in identifying the COVID from the chest X-rays. So this is one good example where AI really helped in detecting the COVID cases from the X-ray. See, there were a lot of cases, COVID cases coming up. All the mission, I mean, humans cannot detect it. Instead, a software starts detecting the disease from the X-ray. So there are a lot of other applications in healthcare as well. Yeah, how to go to into ML role, right? Yeah, so that's the so this webinar would tell you about what is the first step you need to take in to get into a role of ML. Right. And yeah, what is the education role in AI? See, AI plays an machine learning in education is a form of personalized learning that could be used to give each student an individualized educational experience. That's why the AI plays into a role there in education domain. Yeah. Hi. Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Yeah, hi. Okay, I guess we can go forward. Yeah, we will stop in maybe another 10 minutes. There we can take in more questions. Yeah. Okay. So till now we have seen the current applications of AI and ML, right? Let me talk about the future, right? Future, how does the AI and ML goes in, right? See, AI is impacting the future. It is like a future of every industry and every human being as well, right? AI has acted as a main driver of all the emerging technologies like big data, cloud, right? Cloud computing, robotics, internet of things, right? And it is going to be the technological leader in the next upcoming years, right? And yeah, we are yet to experience more and more applications and the magics of AI in the upcoming days, right? We are yet to experience a lot of applications, a lot of algorithms, a lot of new people coming into this domain. They have a lot of ideas, right? This is going to be a great market in the upcoming years, right? Okay, so now I'll talk about the what you can expect as an ML engineer in terms of salary as a fresher. See, I hope all the people here are going to be freshers, right? So what you can expect as a salary of an AI ML engineer in the fresher role or in your starting career, right? See, this is a data which we have taken from the Glassdoor, and you can see that a minimum salary that you can expect is 9 lakhs per year. This is so this is only a minimal salary, I would say. The salaries would go beyond this. Okay, so yeah. And what is required for the ML, right? What is required for to do? See, I so told that it's a software. So how do you build it, right? How do you build softwares in for ML or AI? That's why the Python comes into play, right? So the whole base is Python. hmm right. So if you want to learn or master in AI or machine learning, right, you must know what is a Python programming language, and how do you write programs, how do you implement algorithms in Python. So all these things are I would say it's predominantly done in Python. There are other languages as well, as in R language, right? They also support support the implementation of machine learning algorithms, but the greater community which is being built today is in Python. You get a lot of help in the Python community for developing and building ML applications, right? So predominantly, how does Python started its journey, right? Python was a computational programming language often used to build the websites, right, and software automating the tasks. And now this Python is being broadly expanded to conduct data analysis and AI and ML implementation of softwares and application. Okay, right. So that's how the Python has evolved into a very strong programming language today for ML and AI. Now, let's talk about the current trend of Python. Right, this is why the Python you will help you, right, in building a website, in building any application, or if you want to build a GUI, right, a graphical user interface, right, or if you want to do any software development, tool development, if you want to do any administration, everywhere Python actually plays a bigger role. So now that we have seen the basic salary or of a ML engineer, we will also see what is the basic salary of a Python developer. Right. See, as I already spoke, right, there are various roles that Python has. One is a web developer, one is a software engineer, as a DevOps engineer, machine learning engineer, data scientist, right? Each of the guys you see here, the starting salary packages are actually on the very good side, right, for a Python developer. And when you look at the last two areas, right, the ML engineer and data scientist, they are on the higher side than the other. That's why we are conducting today this webinar, to make you understand why do you learn Python and why do you get into ML and data scientist positions, right? Because you're fairly highly paid than other jobs that a Python developer could get in. Yes. Now let's see what are the companies, right? The top 7 companies today that uses Python as day-to-day work or their production work, right? Google, obviously, Reddit, Netflix, Instagram, Shopify, Stripe, Dropbox, and the list goes on. There are a lot of other companies as well who are depending on Python for their project and software development. And I have already talked about the different domains of Python, but again, we see, right, it's a machine learning engineer, Python software developer, Python web developer, data scientist. These are all, if you know Python, right, if you learn Python to code, right, then you have a wider scope of being an ML engineer, of being a software developer, of being a web developer, or also you could also end up in data science. There are a lot of opportunities waiting for you to learn Python, right? And so till now we have spoken about learning Python, right? Now comes the question, why do you learn Python, right? Where to learn, right? There are a lot of sources where you can learn Python. And the first one is a YouTube, right? That's where you get a lot of resources in Python or in AI or in ML. From YouTube we can get a lot of information, but what happens there, the problem there is it's diversified, right? It is spread across various channels, various videos, right? You don't know you may not be knowing what order you have to follow in. That's one drawback to take classes from YouTube. Now comes the free courses, right? See, there are a lot of free courses wherein you get an order of syllabus, right? But what happens there, you don't get a support or you don't get a live support, or you don't get a support of a teacher, or you don't get into a group based learning experience you don't get in a free courses. Now next come the third option is a self-learning, right? This is another very best option of learning a Python, self-learning. But the problem there is it's a discipline, lack of discipline, right? We may not be actually follow a very disciplined way of learning things. And right, that's where you may need to you may need to invest in a course, and now you get the feel that since you have put in money, you have to actually be disciplined and complete the course to go to the next level of the career, right? So since I have talked about the Python courses, now let's see what is the Python course pricing, right? The price ranges of most of the Python courses ranges from 5K to 50K, right? That's a range of pricing that each of the institutes across India is charging you, right? So that's where EdSpread is going to have a session or a course for you, which is purely designed for the students like you, and which is also aiming at providing a lot of features. Let me take you to the features of the EdSpread course. This is purely a live classes, right? Live class and a faculty driven class. Yeah, you will have a live faculty, and you can also have the a one-on-one doubt solving, right? See, this is one of the USP of this course in EdSpread. Why? Because you don't get this one-on-one doubt solving in any other courses. What happens, right? See, if you take a course in Udemy, right, you can complete the course, but if you have a question, right, why do you ask? Whom do you support? Nobody would going to support you. That's where these courses stands out, right? And now you're going to solve close to 200 plus problems in your live classes, and you're going to solve a 12 plus projects, and it's a course which is from a beginner to an advanced level. And trust me, it's all 100% online live classes at your home and at your convenience. You can take out the classes, you can interact with the faculty, you can go on. Let me also give you an example of how the doubt solving sessions work, right? See, if you after the classes you are going to solve one of the project, you get a doubt, right? Immediately you raise the concern. The expert team will be there to support you in the very next possible time slot. That's how the course is designed. And the major another plus point of this course is the group based learning. You're going to split into different groups, right? And you're going to work in the groups for the projects, for the learning, right? That's where the and this group based learning you are not going to find anywhere in any other courses, right? Because the group based learning is really required, wherein you will get to learn from others, right? And you get knowledge from others, also others also learn from you. That's how it is going to help you out. Now let's see who is the faculty which is going to take this class, right? See, it's a basic to advanced Python and introduction to ML, and our course instructor is Saxon Kesha, and he holds a PG diploma in AI machine learning from Imaticus and master's degree in computer science from Osmania University. He's a data scientist trainer and has worked with organizations like Stack Sigma Analytics, Trilogic, Soft Solutions as an AI engineer. See, another USP of the course is we are only taking 50 students per batch. Why the 50, right? Because we don't want because we are looking at supporting each one of the 50 students who are going to enroll for this course, right? A one-on-one support. Let's say all the 50 have a questions, we need to solve them at the stipulated time. That's why we are restricting to the number of 50 per batch, and only the limited slots are available. And see, you can see the price tag of the course. It's 2,999 per student. And it's almost 50% down the price, which you will get a course on the market with none of these features that this course is gonna give you, right? Okay, see, now we'll take another few minutes for the question and answer. Now you can go ahead for the questions, right? Please.
We are having so many questions in the chat box now. So the first question is, will AI take over humans?
This is something which even the researchers are also being scared of, right? It could be possible, but not very very nearby. It's far ahead, but it's a scary situation, right? If what happens if AI or software takes over the human, it's a scary thing. But yeah, so the researchers will also be not doing that, because it's a scariest thing that a world can experience. So yeah, so replacing is possible but may not happen. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So our next question is, how much maths is needed to get as an ML engineer?
Right, good question. See, we talked about the machine learning algorithms, or we saw various algorithms. Right? All of these ML algorithms are basically dependent on the statistical concepts. All of them are statistical algorithms. So how much max? As in, you need only the +1 +2 max, right? You need to know this. You need to be really good at linear algebra. You need to be really good at statistics concepts, and also you need to go good at the metrics, right? Metrics operations, vectorizations operations, right? You need to know these things out. And yeah, so the knowing the more in-depth max will help you to come up with more researchers, rather than what algorithms existing today or what is being widely used. You can actually look at researching in a research perspective and come up with more advanced algorithms.
Yes, sir. So our next question is career growth. How much career growth is in AI and ML, the increment that the person will get if he enters in this
Mm-hmm.
field?
Right. See, AI or ML, right? These are, I would say, these are only in a very starting phase in our industries, or IT industry, or in India. I would especially say it's on the starting phase. There's a lot of scope or growth in the career, which is expected to grow in the next coming years. You can actually look at various technical articles published by various analysts, right, or Glassdoors, right? They are expecting the ML jobs to raise almost the thrice what is existing today in another 2 years, because that's a space this domain and this technology is growing in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So moving to the next question. Our next question is how ML and AI is related.
Yeah, see, AI is an AI is we know about AI, right? It's an artificial intelligence. How to achieve AI? Machine learning or ML is one of the way to achieve AI. So it's an I would say ML is a method to achieve AI. There are other ways also to achieve AI, as in the deep learning and the reinforced learning. So these are again subdomains of AI, like ML. Yeah.
Yes, sir, that's very true. There are some few questions like many people are asking about the best platform to learn Python. I will answer this question. If you want to learn Python, just join this course. You will get a great exposure. If you're very beginner to Python, you will get a great exposure and you will be the advanced in Python if you join this course. And the next question is, do you have to be very good at mathematics to be a ML engineer? If yes, what are the maths topic which you would pick up, which you would classify as important? So important topics for ML.
Yeah, I guess I've already spoke about this, right? Linear algebra, matrices, and statistical concept. These are the some of the major mathematical concept that you need to be really aware of it. And also the list extends to differentiation and integration as well. That's also required. Yeah, but see, if you're looking at if you're looking at taking the ML into a research perspective, then you need to be good at differentiation, integration, and a lot of in-depth maths. But if you're looking at as an ML developer, right? If you're looking for a developer role, yeah, then the linear algebraics and statistics and the matrix operations, right? These are good enough to go with.
Yes, sir. Now, next question is how to get into this course. So, if you want to get into this course, you see the chat box. There is one registration form link. You just have to fill that form link, and further we will connect you for the further process to get into the course. Next. Question is, what is the best feature I'm getting here if I buy this course? The
Yeah,
features. So let me share the screen.
please
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah, Namika. Yeah.
These are the some features of, like, if you buy this course, these are the some features that you will get from this course. Like, these are live classes, one-to-one doubt solving, 200 plus problems, 12 plus projects, beginner to advanced. Like, you don't need any prerequisites to join this course. 100% live classes, group based learning. Like, you will get some project that you will work on group, and this will enhance your teamwork. And group based learning, you will get a certificate after the completion of this course. So these are the features of our course.
Yes, I would also like to add certain other features. Right, see, if you look at the trainer, right, he's an experienced guy, right? He's an industry-led guy. So what you're going to get an advantage here, you'll get how the industry works, right? See, there are also people who are from the industry behind edge spread. So people like me who are into ml and ai maybe for the 7 years or 10 years of experience, right? We have people in there. So what you're going to get here is you learn the course, and also you get the experience of how does it work in the industry, or how you have to take the learning that will help you to get a career, right? So that's an advantage you are going to get in the live classes faculty. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So our next question is, how many days or weeks it takes to learn ML?
Um, yeah, that's a tricky question, right? See, how many days, and see, learning is always is always a non-ending thing, right? You can learn any days, or you see, it depends on how what you want to achieve. If you're looking at a career point of thing, right? Then maybe in learning course, or properly you spend a dedicated 2 hours per day, right? If you do it maybe 2 months or 3 months of time, you would end up in a very good position of an ml role. But if you're looking at a research perspective, right, I see, you may know that Google, Facebook, these companies are looking at majorly at the research point of thing. So it takes a longer time. It takes maybe 6 months or 1 year or 1.5 years of time that you learn each and every day, and you are trying to come up with solutions to the research problems, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Guys, if you have any more doubts or any question, just write in the chat box. We will try to answer your doubts and questions, queries.
Yeah, I see a question like, do we have good placements in AIML? Yes, of course. I told you, right? See, this industry is actually growing. A fastest growing industry today, right? If you see any technical articles today coming up, right, everybody talks about AI and ML. Why? Because that has a huge scope, and the companies are really looking for engineers like you. And see, learning from the scratch, right, it will help you to actually achieve a lot of position, a bigger position in career, right? And yeah, so how was your experience in ml engineering? Yeah, see, this is a see, I started from the scratch. I started from the beginning, learning, refreshing the mathematical concept, refreshing the programming language capability, and finally ending up in developing the algorithms and software applications and deploying them into the cloud. So it's a long journey. It's a long journey which will take you to a good position at the end. But yeah, but if you are steady and disciplined, that you are learning, right, taking courses and completing it in a very disciplined manner, talk to people, communicate with the people, get into a github repo community, right? If you learn if you when you're students, right, you get, once you get into the programming aspect, right, or you learn Python, you can actually contribute to the open source projects in GitHub, wherein it will going to expand your profile, and when you go for a placement or a company interview, you can show the open source projects that you have supported in GitHub. But for doing that, you need to be really strong in the Python coding and the machine learning concepts. That's where Edspread is going to is help you in reaching these things to you, and you can actually make use of it.
Yes, sir. So moving to the next question, it's a very common question that the other branch students of other branches apart from CSE always used to ask. Sir, my ambition is to become a data scientist, but sir, I'm studying ECE. Can I achieve my goal after completing ECE? What should I learn to become data scientist?
uh, yeah, these kind of questions might arise for most of the people like us, right? See, I work for Qualcomm, which is a semiconductor company, which is major electronics company, but there are a lot of applications in the chip industries as well, where the AI is going. So see, once you take your mobile, right, you have a lot of AI features and capabilities and inbuilt there. So how does it being provided, right? You need to be an electronics engineer, and also you need to be a software engineer who can build ML algorithms. So when both reaches to a point, you're going to end up as a very strong professional, right? So ECE and electronic concepts is really required there, and then also the Python and the other software skills also required. So depending on your domain, right, you can choose the see I have already shown you what are the domains that AI is helping out today, right? You can choose your domain, right? Healthcare, or even in healthcare you need to know both ECE, electronics, and as well as software. So there are a lot of domains wherein you can literally explore in. And I can see a question of ML versus full stack. Which one is better, considering the placements of CTC? I would say both are hand to hand, right? Both have its own capabilities and its own scope, I would say, right? Can I go for web development after learning Python? Yes, for sure. If you are really interested in, if you are really a good creative person, right, then you can look at creating the web pages in Python. There are a lot of libraries and packages available in Python which will help you to create a very nice web pages and be creative, right? Yeah.
So our next question is the same as you explained before, the roadmap for AI and ML. And what should I learn firstly to learn Python?
Yeah, what should you learn first to learn Python, right? See Python, I hope you would be really aware of the Python, the programming languages, right? Python is yet another programming language, and you can literally learn the syntaxes and the concepts of Python. That's the first thing which you need to learn in, and then gradually it takes a lot of I would say solve a lot of programs in Python, right? Go to various Hacker Earth and other platforms, take Python codings, solve it by yourself. You will be reaching the best of what you can deliver in Python, right? And is Python easy, sir? Yes, it's you can learn it. Or if you are very disciplined in learning, yes, anything could be learned. Yes. And that's why we are going to have sessions with your live faculty, and then you are going to learn about it.
I guess there is no more doubts. So you cleared every question and queries very clearly. And
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Namika.
So guys, here on the screen, on the slide, you can see there's mentioned a contact number. If you want to get if you have any query, any doubt, so just feel free to ask. Just text us on the WhatsApp, or just mail us here. This is an email ID, and guys, follow us on Instagram Follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as on YouTube. So thank you so much, guys. It was really a nice webinar, and I would also like to thank Srinath sir for being presented here, and really you explained everything so nicely in very well mannered. Your sequence of your sequence of explaining the things was really very nice, and really my doubts are also cleared through this webinar. And guys, if you want to register for this course, the course registration form link is in your chat box. Just fill it that form. We will reach you out. And if you have any further queries, just text us on WhatsApp or just send us a mail. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you, all of you. Have a good day. Bye bye.